开潘多拉盒子，开启爆料革命的第2核心阶段，对共产党的高层、最高层进行革新不可逆转的爆料。
You have stolen their money to make yourselves wealthier. Joe Biden and his family and Blinken and Sullivan and you guys are caught up in it too. You have taken blood money to go out and you, Hunter Biden, to do your drugs and all your depravity. Well, it's all going to come out in living color.
Now, I'm going to tell you, yesterday, the FBI finally opened an investigation. It's outrageous what they did, and immediately would have figured out that this is a high-level bribery case, and everything that Joe Biden has said is a big lie.
10秒钟让人震撼，1分钟内让大家毫无质疑的他们是犯罪分子，叫他们成为人人喊打的暴徒、犯罪分子。人类的公敌，这就是我们爆料的目标。打开潘多拉盒子之时，就是他们必须是人上被灭亡的分子。
I believe now that a rising China is a positive development.
Business where he was going to get $30,000 a year, $30 million a year, and he was in business with 3 Chinese communists.
Live again here in the afternoon first session on the 10th day of exposing laptops from the hell, and with the 10th day that we intensively describing what CCP did and what Joe Biden and Hunter Biden did to collude with CCP to control the Western world. And we have Victor here today and Hallie here. So would you guys say hi to our audience, please, first? Victor?
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to day 10 of our laptop from the help.
Haley?
Hi, everyone. It seems like I have technical issues. Let me just make some adjustments.
Sure. Okay. Good. So far, we've been doing a lot of exposures about what's going on with them. But first of all, we know in this like 8 years before President Trump became the president of the United States, it was actually, we find out that it was Joe Biden who's actually the president. He was VP of America, but we already find out and exposed to you, Obama is just a little brother of him. So Obama is paid by Joe Biden from CCP, and through all these cooperations between companies, and all those money was flowing from mainland China, from CCP China to the United States. And this was what happened in the past like 8 years, and even the past 3.5 years, it's still going on. We show all the details, and a lot of hard evidence from those emails, from those videos, and those pictures and messages, and all that is actually showing to us, to the audience, and to all the free world that this is from CCP China. And so they actually, during that 8 years or longer, from 2004 till 2012, and even when Mr. Trump was elected, he was trying to withdraw a lot of supply chains or production chains, that because Obama or Joe Biden already sent them over from United States to China. And in the same time, they suck up the money from both Chinese deplorables and American deplorables, and they use that money to control the world and to build a new power world with high tax, with high benefit, and we all see this in Canada as well, and to develop a lot of lazy people who are not working. They are poor people, but they are lazy as well because they don't need to work. They live on welfare, and we have that on the street. We see a lot. And in this way, they are controlling those people, and they're using a lot of things like we all know, Black Lives Matters. They use Antifa, they use all these ideologies from the communists, Marxism and the Leninism, socialism as well. They use brainwash and to divert people's attention, and gradually they use several big families to control the whole thing. This is a mere copy of what happened in CCP China in the past 70 years. Several big families are controlling everything. So they are doing the same thing in America. That's what also exposed from these laptops from hell. We know Democratic parties, and some of them, or even Republican parties as well, some big families we called quote unquote deep state. They are actually dominating US already. And a lot of social media, particularly mainstream media, was controlled, and they blindfolded average people of the United States and the free world. So that's why we could hardly see anything exposed. Whenever we try to showcase or reveal any truth, we were blacked out. We were blocked from the mainstream media. Okay, and so today we are going to focus some of the main things. The fourth wave again, and I will have Victor to start your part and to share with us what the fourth wave looks like. Thank you, Victor.
Okay, thank you, Joseph. So you know that on G News and GTV, we already have the fourth wave of the bombshell. So it's more pictures, more sexual pictures from the laptops, and those shows that some girls, and you can check it out on the G News and GTV. So do go to our official the G News website. And you can see that from this one, looks like some celebrities, yeah, but I'm not 100% sure yet because they just look alike, right? People could look alike, right? So, but definitely, you can see that how Hunter Biden's life it is, yeah. But even though that, yeah, we don't know what's that behind those stories. So other than that, yeah, you know that tomorrow will be the American elections. That's the big day. So I just from the Luda show, there's intelligence said that the Antifa and also maybe other groups, they already planning some riots activities around the city at election day. And so other than those, yeah, obvious ones, they might also try to interfere with the elections by mailing some fake ballots and using some fake ID. So we heard that from the news, and now there are more to came out. So there's a news, yeah, they said that they have so many fake. We know that there's a problem with the post office as well, but the fake ballots, fake IDs, yeah, definitely, yeah, they are organizing something. And then also that by Luda show, they said that they already hire at least 500 lawyers to sue that to claim that they cannot vote by those mailing ballots. So there's a lot going on. So you need to be very alert if you're an American citizen who can vote and who plan to vote on that day. So
yeah, by the way, Victor, I just one thing to add. It's because I posted some of the fake, like these pictures and some of the fake ballots onto Facebook, and some people start following me, but some people are trying to write back to me saying, this is fake. Meaning that I posted as a fake thing on Facebook. But I told them these already proved, and this, not just this one, there's more about it. And they were trying to divert my attention, divert my audience attention on Facebook as well. I don't have much people following me, but maybe just a little over 500, or maybe two accounts together, just less than 1,000. But some are saying different things, but I don't actually hear a lot of like supporting views, a lot of negative views, just trying to say, this is fake news that I'm posting there. Yeah, go ahead, Victor.
Yeah, I think that actually was from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, so it's true. Those fake IDs and the fake ballots, they are doing some investigation. But the thing is that because so many things are still going on, and then they are still doing the investigation. But we need to bring this to your attention. So do vote if you can vote at that night, and then also be very alert. So anything could happen during that night, and it's just tomorrow. So it's coming soon. So we are also doing some special broadcast tomorrow at here from 8 o'clock. So, and also we will do some reviews for the previous years, and then also update any news time to time. Yeah, back to you.
Okay, Hallie, you have anything to add to that?
So Victor, you discussed a few points. The first one is the the BGY program launched by CCP towards U.S. U.S. high-profile personnel, and one of them is Hunter Biden, right? And the pictures you just showed, like, we're not sure who these girls are and their identity, but one of them we have a very good guess is Lady Gaga, and we showed Lady Gaga's picture a few times and compare the side face. It looks very similar. And based on what Lady Gaga's appearance and what he posted on her social media, we can see that she really has a good relationship with Joe Biden, right? We can see the pictures shoot between him and Joe Biden, hug very tightly with each other, smiling during the photo shoot. And we see that Lady Gaga posts this various short video clips onto TikTok, Twitter, and IG, all these programs, and advocating that voters to vote Joe Biden. And it's really, very, very ridiculous. Like one of the video, she was wearing camouflage and combat boots, like a military veteran, right? And she was like advocating Joe Biden, and really she's not a veteran. All veteran, I saw what veterans are voting for. I saw that there's a veteran association marching on the street and chanting for Trump, right? Because Trump is protecting the interest of veterans, not Joe Biden. Joe Biden and Zuckerberg, they're making money from those veterans through PTSD programs, like the email we reviewed a few days ago. So all these celebrities like LeBron James, the people from Hollywood, most of them they're advocating voters to vote Joe Biden. And remember, they have millions and tens of millions of followers. So it's a strong move for CCP to infiltrate the Hollywood entertainment industry, because they can incite they can incite certain wave, especially during the presidential election. So that's something that I'm worried about, because remember, the whole Antifa, BLM are all related to Hollywood, to NBA and other sports. Every time I watch TV for NFL or NBA, there are teams that are bent on their knees on the floor, right, and supporting the BLM movement. And why they're doing it, I don't really understand. Like, if these celebrities, they are supporting the BLM, and more people will follow, especially those young kids. They don't have experience in political world. They only have they only listen to their idol. They don't listen to Trump or Joe Biden or those politicians. They don't even understand what politician is, but they know that if their idol says something, they will follow, right? So that's something very bad influence to the young generation, and especially when all these celebrities they see BLM movement as a correct political move. Like, every time they mention BLM, they're saying it is related to racism, or it is related to the freedom and equalism. But no, that's just the words on the surface. Really, BLM, what they're doing is they're using this excuse to do these violent protests, and that is hurting the economy, the local economy, and that is hurting the core value of U.S. Remember what they did to tear down all these sculptures of these U.S. heroes. They're totally trying to overturn the value system in this one of the greatest nation in the world. So back to my point, we know that Hollywood is in bad with CCP, NBA is in bad with CCP, and we are just grassroots. We don't have much followers, right? Like Joseph just mentioned, we only have like maybe tens or hundreds of followers on Twitter instead of tens of millions like those celebrities. But we are outnumbered, right? No. They are outnumbered by us, because all of us, these grassroots, unite together, then we will outnumber them. because we have millions of like whistleblower movement followers, and if every one of us just use your finger and post all these whistleblower movement secret hard drive information on Twitter, on Parler, on Gab, on whatever social media you can reach, whatever social media that you will not get suspended, just use your finger and spread the truth, and hopefully we'll outnumber them.
Yeah. So also please follow us on GTVG News, and also we do have Parler accounts that's at HFC Meeting 64. Also, you can scan that. You can see that from the screen. You can just scan those barcodes and then follow us.
The other point that you said in your part is the fake ballots, right? Fake mail-in ballots. So we have proof. There's numerous articles saying that there are fake ballots by people does not even exist. People already dead, and a lot of ballots, they were mailed in with certain candidates, Democratic candidates, already checked in. So like this is ridiculous. And like you mentioned, Obama is involved in it. I don't believe conspiracy, but I don't believe coincidence. Why Obama controls the majority share in the company which is in charge of printing all these mail-in ballots, and why Obama is the one who is standing out to speak on behalf of Joe Biden. Instead of have Joe Biden to go to have a rally speech in every state, Obama was the one helping him to do those rally speech for him. Like why Obama is so keen to support Joe Biden, because we already exposed it that he was in bed with Biden criminal syndicate. In turn, he was also in bed with CCP. He approved the numerous deals which let CCP steal the U.S. intellectual property, and he approved that CCP could militarize the South China Sea, and he and his family is getting paid by Biden family and also CCP. So we know that all this stuff we're talking every day. I don't know how many Americans will actually believe this, because I know it's beyond your imagination. But I just want you to spend some time to verify whatever information you can. If you can verify, because the polling, the war room polling about Joe Biden is quite thrilled. So I think this morning, if I remember correctly, they did a polling asking people how do you believe that Joe Biden is involved in criminal activity, and do you believe in Joe Biden at all? And I think over 50% they're not believing Joe Biden. And they also war room polling also asked, do you believe Tom Bobulinski or you believe Joe Biden? Tom Bobulinski came out and accused that Joe Biden was a big guy. He always knew what Hunter Biden's business deal with CCP and Russia and other foreign country. And also over 50% of those people who get the questions, they choose the side of Tom Bobulinski over Joe Biden. So that is something thrilling, because we know Joe Biden's polling was tracking ahead of Trump. And since I think 2 weeks ago, Joe Biden is always ahead. And I was looking at numerous different publishers this morning, like Washington Post, New York Times, The Guardian even. So also CNN. No matter if it's a left-wing or it's like neutral side media, they all have the polling results showing Joe Biden is ahead. But look at those rallies. there are like 25,000 people waiting in the line to participate the Trump rally in Minnesota, and only 250 people got approved to the venue because that Democrat Party mayor of Minnesota, the state government denied all these 25,000 people's right to listen to Trump's rally speech. And on the other hand, Joe Biden's only have like maybe a few hundreds people, and most of them are working under his campaign team to join his rally speech. So this comparison and also what these media showing on the polling result is totally conflict. What do you guys think the real situation is?
Well, this is the mainstream media is actually disguising a lot of the truth. And, because if you, our friends or viewers, go on YouTube, just YouTube is fine. And see when Joe Biden and Obama are doing together with those rallies or meeting their supporters in their own states, even like Texas. But how people are reacting to it. And if you look at what happened under any of these Trump's rally around United States, all those states, he's been like traveling day after day and airport to airport. You see thousands and even, maybe more than like 2,000 or almost maybe, I don't know if it is millions, but there are lots of people shouting for another 4 year. And if you look at the other side, and recently in a lot of so-called mainstream media, you will see they are talking about Black Lives Matters. They're talking about Trump lied and Trump didn't do anything to control the CCP virus. And they even mentioned Dr. Fauci about that. He's actually warning Trump, do not go to those rallies. People are not wearing masks. They are trying all means to divert people's attention from electing the right people. And at the same time, if you look at how people react to Biden's rally, well, Biden just said, like I saw a piece of a clip, it said, don't elect Biden. He just talked to his people like he forgot who he is. We all know he's a dementia and he couldn't remember all the scripts and whatever he's saying. He had a electronic big prompter telling him what to say. He just barely read it, but sometimes he read it wrongly. He forgot who he is. How can you elect such a dementia kind of people, or we could say an idiot, that to be the president of the United States? And we all know he already sold America to CCP. He sold the country out already. He's going to sell all of you, my fellow Americans, to CCP. Are you going to vote for him? But we all these are the truths only existing on very few media, including our own, like gnews.org and gtv.org. And the rest of it is something else.
I think that definitely physically, mentally, Joe Biden cannot handle that, right? So also in terms of the popularity, you can see that everywhere President Trump went, so many people. Even I remember that a few days ago, it's like 10 degrees. So people are waiting outside for hours for her airplane to land it. And then the whole vibe is so different. They're all chanting. They're so happy. They're so enthusiasm to see President Trump, and then always chanting that 4 more years, and also maybe some 8 years or 12 years. Some even chanted that. So you can see that how popular he is, and people know that from the last 4 years, he kept his promise. It's like none of the presidents in the American history have kept so many promise fulfilled. So he built a wall. He made the economy. He bring everything back the industry to the U.S. And then the employer rates, right? So the economy recovered very quickly for the last quarter. So many promise. He fixed the immigrant system. So I think again, people say that he's racism. He's not welcome immigrants. He welcomes legal immigrants, but he want to fix it because people abuse the system for a long time. It's way long time overdue. Yeah. So for the Americans, so many illegal immigrants. Why? Because the Obama administration for the last 8 years, because democracy always use this as an excuse to not do the thing right, or maybe they have some other stuff. So I don't know what's behind. Yeah. So need to be more to be disclosed for those dirty tricks behind them. So back to
if you look at the CBC News or whatever is showing up like this morning in Canada, like even Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is still just hesitating there, because we all know United States is the biggest trade partner and the close next door neighbor to Canada. Who is elected next will be crucial to what Canada is going to do. So Justin Trudeau is still hesitating. He's just visiting. He's trying to prepare on the two sides, but nobody ever mentioned about what happened to Joe Biden and his son, about all these cracking things, all these ugly deals they had with China, because there are same ugly deals in Canada as well. I don't want to elaborate more, but let's see. Maybe we'll have more things to reveal even after this American presidential election. Yeah. And Hallie?
Let's move to the next topic, because I know Victor can only be here until 1.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So, what do you want? Go ahead.
We have the 4-way, right? So the 4-way really disclose some more pictures, and also there's shows more how Joe Biden's family, especially from Hunter Biden, how they connected with the CCP, how they do business with CCP, and how they get money from CCP, so CCP can control them. So this is a very specific case. So they threw that, let me see if that on the screen yet. Okay, yeah, this one. So this is the first documents. From this guy called Dong Gongwen, is also as Kevin Dong. So he has this one as he approached Hunter Biden, and this is the email, the first contact with Biden. You can see that it says, Raymond, many thanks to the introduction, Hunter. I am based in New York and my US phone is, let's talk tomorrow. So that's how they connected from another guy, from Raymond, I guess. So this is the Dong Gongwen, Kevin Dong, and how they started to know each other.
Are you sure that Kevin is Dong Gongwen? Are they the same person?
Yes. I read the news.
Okay.
No?
Because I see some emails that both Dong Gongwen and Kevin's name are inside of those emails. So I don't know if they're referring to the same person. I thought that Kevin just be someone working under Dong Gongwen. Dong Gongwen is the boss, and Dong Gongwen is working for the Ye Jianming. I think he's the chief financial officer for CEFC.
Yeah.
Ye Jianming personally.
This email is actually from Dong Gongwen. If
it's
you
Kevin,
see,
right? Kevin,
and his signature is Kevin. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes the system will use the boss email to send emails, just like Wang Xin might use Jonathan Lee, or Jia Qibao might use something else, but I'm not sure. Like, if you guys are sure that it's the same person, it's fine.
I just read that from Genius. Yeah, so this is one from Genius. Let me tell you the source. This is from I think it's from the translate what they call it, the secret translations group. So I just this news on it's called G Translators. Yeah, so I just cite the article, cite this source from them. So they said that Kevin Dong is Dong Gongwen, aka Dong Gongwen, aka Kevin Dong. So he was the chief financial officer for the CEFC China Energy. So we talked about that before. So that's the associate of the Ye Jianming. So he was under Ye Jianming, and that's how they that's the first one they connected. And then the next one will be the how they form a company together. So they have the next one. Yeah, if you can see, if Salah can bring up the second one, that's the
signature.
The signature,
yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Cathay Bank.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they have Joy accounts there. They open a Joy account in the Cathay Bank. So this is one by side. So you can clearly see that this is the Hunter Biden and Dong Gongwen. They signed this together. So they opened this account in the Cathay Bank account. So the Cathay Bank account is like it claims to be a Taiwanese one, but it actually is controlled by CCP.
So yeah, if you look at the email, there's a signature there. The name goes like President of Hudson West VLLC and Chairman of Owasco, Owasco, OWASCO.
Yeah, that's a company held by Hunter 100%.
Hunter Biden,
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So
Robert Hunter Biden, and Dong Gongwen, they signed together. Like this is a multiple signature agreement. Yeah.
So what's your guys' takeaway from the email and this multi-signature agreement?
So that's how they connected. That's the proof. Just how they so this email is about how he connected each other at the beginning, and then once they knew each other, they started to have a joint bank account. So they might use this as how they send the money and then receive the money, because there's a co-sign.
What's the purpose? Do you know what's the purpose to form this partnership between Dong Gongwen and Hunter? Or between Ye Jianming and Hunter?
Yeah, Dong Gongwen was a chief CFO of this, right?
Yeah. What's the purpose of forming this Hudson West LLC?
Yeah, as I said, right, they can receive money, right? So they can use this as a legitimate purpose, right? Oh, we have business together.
Money laundering. Actually.
You can say money laundering, yes. So what is this Hudson West LLC? It was established on April 19, 2016 in Delaware. So some source said that the Owasco, that's the Hunter Biden's lobby firm, they helped to set up this company, the Hudson West. So the members, including Hunter Biden and also Dong Gongwen and other Chinese. So and also more, yeah, sure, go ahead.
What are the evidence you are claiming they are doing money laundering business, and Ye Jianming and CFC is delivering interest or giving Hunter money through this LLC?
So there's more evidence there. Yeah, you can see that there's agreements. You can see that that's how they sign the contract. And then also
Dong Gongwen, right? Sorry, Dong Gongwen purchased 2 luxury apartments in Manhattan, New York. One of which is located at 15 Central Park West, with purchase price of $50.55 million, and one at 432 Park Avenue with a purchase price of $33 million. And I know for sure that I think we already exposed some of the pictures was taken in that apartment, and it's already as a gift given to Hunter Biden or Joe Biden.
I think these documents is only shows that how they form this company and how they have these joint accounts, and then also show that what limit they have, because at the end they also said that if any money withdraw over $10,000, so they should be co-sign together. So
look,
there's
look, Joseph,
yeah.
Look, Victor. So if you're claiming that Hunter Biden is getting paid from CEFC, why they do this joint partnership? Why don't they just sending money to Owasco, a 100% owned company by Hunter Biden?
That's American law. You want to escape from tax?
No. Did you get my question?
I'll say that again.
So I'm not sure about what's your question. Yeah, so
you're saying Hunter Biden is getting paid by Ye Jianming, the spy of CCP, right? You're saying this company is
I didn't say that. Sorry, I just said that that's how they started to connect it together, and also this is the way maybe they use it as a legitimate way, but actually they are doing something else.
Yeah. So,
but this is the first
I was
beginning.
Asking you, what's the reason they formed this partnership? They formed this Hunter West LLC. You're saying he is getting paid through this LLC.
I said that's how they started to. It might be used as a legitimate, like we are doing business together, right?
Yeah. So what's the purpose to form this company?
To cover
what? To cover what?
To cover something behind. So I don't know. More evidence should be. We can connect it with each other, right? Like something before. So
yeah, they're covering, the money they're paying to Hunter. We've showed our audience that there's numerous wires from CEFC or other foreign company to Hunter West, and then the money will be wired from Hunter West to Owasco or other company controlled by Hunter Biden. It's very obvious that the only reason this company is formed because they're using this company to delivering interest to Hunter. The 10 million deal, 3 years contract, the money is paid to Hunter Biden through this company, right? Do you agree?
Yeah.
So
that's why I said,
my next question.
They're showing the evidence, right, of the beginning, how they formed this.
Yeah, I understand.
The signature,
so
right?
My next question is, if you agree that CEFC Ye Jianming, they're paying Hunter Biden to negotiate deals on behalf of this Chinese state-owned company, why don't they just give money to Hunter instead of forming this partnership controlled both by Dong Gongwen and Hunter? That's my question.
They don't trust each other, right? They also
right. Yeah,
I know. But
that's the point. That's why I'm asking you this question, right?
No, that's the co-sign, right? That's why they have this co-sign. So over $10 million and the $10,000, it should be agreed by both. So they might do things gradually, right? Okay, you finish this task A, and then I'm going to give you such money, or you cannot withdraw over the limits, or I only agree pay up to this point, or they might have some other method to pay. I'm not sure yet. So
exactly, they're not trusting each other. That's why the CCP side, they sent Dong Gongwen as the co-signer, and Hunter Biden here is the signer on behalf of Joe Biden. And like the way they forming this partnership tells you that they know that the CCP knew if they just deliver the money to Hunter Biden directly, Hunter Biden going to waste it, right? Easy money coming in, easy money going out. So they knew that Hunter, as a drug addict, he spends money quickly, just like this. And we knew that they hold all these surveillance photos, video tapes, just so that one day, if Hunter is not doing what they asked them to do, then they have these staff that can blackmail him. So further, again, it proves that they don't trust each other.
Yeah, they have that,
Also,
that dog leash, right? They want to hold it. They want to leash it, let it go. Because, yes, I agree with you, Halle, because Hunter spends lots of money, right? All those stars slept with him, they're not cheap, right? Like, Liu Yifei, right? They call it Shi Yifei, right? So he's doing food jobs already. We have pictures show it. Just go on to GNews and GTV.com and you find out. It's already proven. So that is the person who's actually doing the food job for Hunter Biden. So I don't think it's a cheap prostitute. Like, okay, sorry.
Also,
Victor,
I think
go ahead.
they are also using this Kathy Bank, right? Because Kathy Bank is controlled by it was founded in Los Angeles, and then they have New York, Boston, and also in Shanghai, Hong Kong. And then after that, actually it's controlled by the CCP. So if they're not they don't lie or they don't approve the Hunter Biden's work or something else, they can still control the money by the bank, right? So that's another way they can control Hunter Biden. So I think that's pretty much that's all from me. What else do you want to
add? Well, we have this fourth wave of there are some text message exchange, and you will see Hunter Biden is sending text messages to some of those. Like one of the called Halle, right? His own sister-in-law, his brother's wife. His passed away brother's wife, right? Halle, and also another one named Elizabeth. But anyways, we find out from those text messages and all those laptops from how his own sister-in-law is also a drug addict. So there are more evidence going there. And now people are asking Hunter for money. So Hunter is having a lot of money at his disposal. That's why maybe they have this joint account.
Before we go to that, before we go to the audio between Hunter and his sister, the screen shows us this article of incorporation of a Wasco. PC. PC means professional corporation. So this company is a professional corporation established by Hunter as a lawyer and lobbyist. So the main business for this company is to lobby, the politicians in Washington to influence the policy and legislation posted by Washington. So that's when we know that Owasco, when we show you guys the proof that Owasco is getting money wired from Townsend West, a company formed by both Hunter and the state-owned Chinese CEFC, we know that they're getting money to influence the U.S. policy. So that's an easy logical chain we can find from these documents. And
Yeah. So well, because we have only I know Victor had to go at 1 o'clock, right? So yeah, would you like to just summarize a little bit what we talked so far, and then we'll continue with Halle after. Okay.
Yeah, I have to go right now, and then we just I'm gonna be there tomorrow again, and then also for the next few days, and also for the 11th tomorrow. So yeah. That's my feeling right now. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Sure. All right. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Halle.
Yeah. Another another evidence showing that they're not trusting each other. Although that Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, Biden's family, Biden criminal syndicate is in bed with CCP, but they're not trusting each other. Is that remember the BHR agreement that they getting this perpetual loan from Wang Xing, first Jonathan Li and then Wang Xing, both white gloves of the CCP top powerful family. The loan indicates that so there's this guarantee, security guarantee. If you don't pay back the loan, the shares that Biden family controls will be conveyed to the lender, which is either Jonathan Li or Wang Xin. And the way they control the repayment is based on China's jurisdiction, Chinese jurisdiction, which means like if there's a court in China sentence that Hunter Biden or through his company, I think it's Rosemont Seneca Partners, if they don't pay back the loan, then the share that this company owns in BHR would be conveyed to the lender, which is a Chinese Chinese figure, not Chinese people, Chinese CCP family. So that's another trick. I
don't want to emphasize more about this. If you want to do business with CCP China, not like deplorable average Chinese like our fellow whistleblowers, because these people know the tricks. They've been doing this for years, like since the beginning, to like 1921, right, when they inherit some of the Marxism ideas from Soviet Russia, from Germany, from Karl Marx, and Lenin or whatever. So these people are already starting the trick. They do a lot of things under the table. On the surface, they could talk one thing, and actually they always protecting themselves and by tricking people into their deal. So you see from these, like Hallie just mentioned, from these agreements, they actually signed so that, okay, if you are trying to off my hook, I mean CCP's hooking you up into their deal, you have to do something for them, either to lobbying inside your country, either you sell the secret or you sell the intelligence or even intellectual properties or any know-hows that could help CCP China to develop their things and by stealing things. So these things, anything you don't want to do according to them, you are down. They are not going to give you money. And by the way, they have all these hard evidence recorded and civilian so that they could actually, tell it to your rivals in politics world and show that you are a criminal. See, like Joe Biden himself, he didn't realize he was already hooked up by many years by CCP. He's a criminal, but not only to Americans, but to CCP as well. They know you're a criminal. They can easily sell you out. They can sell out each other.
Yeah, exactly. You think that you're smarter than CCP gangster? No. CCP gangster is a master of cheating, of stealing, of suppressing people, of betraying each other. They are master of all these things. And like you just said, since 1921, the Marxism was spread to China, and it changed a little bit, right? Because the Chinese is a different country than the West, the Russia, the Soviet Union. So, but they have no bottom line in China. Like it's even worse. After Marxism came to China, it's even worse under CCP, because CCP, they don't have any bottom line. There's no ethical bottom line, no legal bottom line, and you can't even imagine how evilness that all these CCP party members or leaders are. Founder Biden thought that Ye Jianming is the richest guy in the world, controlling $323 billion. He didn't even know that Ye Jianming is nobody. Ye Jianming right now is lying at the bottom of one river in China. All these, the actual big boss, bosses are those families who joined the so-called Red March, the 25,000 kilometers Red March, right? All these families was around Mao at that time. They are the actual people controlling the state of China, the 1.4 billion people.
Yeah,
and
Ye Jianming is the grandson
He's nobody,
of Ye Jianying, right? They heard
no,
say that.
that's not verified.
That's
no.
fake.
I won't say that because I don't think that's verified.
Okay.
Yeah, but
anyways,
it's nobody. Like the people behind the scene are Xi's family, Wang's family, Meng,
Jiang's
Jiang,
family.
Zheng, right, and
Yes.
Bao. Like these families are all children of heritage of the people who joined the Red March and around Mao. So anyway, my point is like anyone who is making deal with Chinese Communist Party, you better be prepared because one day you might be destroyed by CCP, just like what Joe Biden, Hunter Biden family are facing right now. So if Nancy Pelosi, if Obama, you guys are doing business with CCP, you better become a witness sooner than later so that you can get your ass protected and appoint the big guy behind the scene.
Yeah, I can definitely second you for that, for sure. Oh God, yeah. Well, be aware. Like it's lots of things has been exposed so far, but there are more to come, more details, more secret things. Top secret are no longer secret anymore.
Like you said, we are not only exposing materials regarding Hunter Biden, Joe Biden. We have other top politicians in U.S. involved. One of them that we're going to expose today is FBI Director Christopher
Wray.
Right?
Christopher
Wray. So Sarah, if you can, oh shoot, I think I didn't upload that.
It's okay.
Message.
Well, we know about the Christopher Wray also. There's a story related to Miles School as well when he first just escaped from CCP China to the U.S. He was trying to hire some lawyers, right? So far I know, Christopher Wray is one of the lawyers in that law firm.
He actually is a partner. He was a partner in that law firm.
Not just an ordinary lawyer, he was a partner, right?
Yeah.
And he actually already signed agreement with Mr. Guo and about servicing, helping him with his case in U.S. But at the same time, after a little bit while, they got another deal with Wang Qishan, that time was the vice chairman of CCP China. He gave this guy or the company $5 million extra or whatever. And then he said he want to abandon Mr. Guo for his case. That is really against the law, right? Against the, there's conflicts of interest. And the ethic of being a lawyer by Law Society, this is also a different thing. But how come he became the FBI director? Yeah. How come?
So
it is a weird thing happening in America.
There is a story in this whole FBI director, Christopher Wray and CCP and Biden's family. So you might didn't read the news yet, but I'll just give you a brief. So Christopher Wray was a partner in this law firm, and this law firm he is in was dealing with a Russian company named Rosneft. It's right on the screen, right? This Rosneft is the biggest and one of the biggest energy company in Russia, and it's also state-owned. And before 2017, remember, Christopher Wray was appointed as FBI director in 2017, and before 2017, there's this one huge deal between this company called Rosneft and the Chinese company CEFC. I digged this like a few days ago while we were talking about CEFC, because we know that CEFC is one of the biggest private company in China, and controlled by this so-called chairman Ye Jianming, right? And the revenue of CEFC, I think at that time in 2015, it's about $260 billion every year. That's a huge amount of revenue. Okay, and they did this the biggest acquisition deal back in 2017 to acquire a majority of percentage of interest in this Russian company, Rosneft. And at that time, you know, Russia was facing all these sanctions from U.S. because Russia invaded Crimea in Ukraine, right? So Russian get sanctioned by U.S. and the energy, those petroleum, natural gas, they're not going to, U.S. is not going to buy. And according to those sanctions, whoever is dealing with Russia in purchasing these natural gas and petroleum, you might be get sanctioned too. But China, on the other hand, is still doing business with Russia, and they see this opportunity to acquire a certain amount of interest in these Russian companies because they're facing tremendous difficulty in selling their products. So that's when CEFC came in and played an important role in this Russian company, Rosneft. And remember, Rosneft advisor, a legal counsel representative, is exactly the same firm that Crystal Ray is a partner. So the firm is getting, Crystal Ray's legal law firm is getting a huge amount of money from, you know, representing this Russian company. And according to Lude, I think him himself is getting paid about $9 million every year, USD every year from the deal with Rosneft. So that's how they connect all these politicians in US. They're not like giving them money directly, but they're forming these kind of deals to deliver the interest to these US politicians. And if you're not doing this, or they might have under table agreement that you need to do certain things so that you can keep these deals ongoing. And every year you'll get millions and millions retainer fees, legal presenting fees from this big international energy company controlled by Russia and China.
Well, on the surface, they call it a consulting fee. But
yeah, if you are not a lawyer,
it is an insult for Chinese people or for Russian people as well. It's consulting, but I say it is insulting because they didn't actually do anything. They just get the money sucking out and supply it to Joe Biden.
Yeah, so you are like, there is always saying that lawyers is, there is no good people in lawyers, right? Because, like, for example, Crystal Ray, you are representing a foreign company which gets sanctioned by your own country, US, and you're representing the counterparty. Like, you're definitely not a patriot. If you're a patriot, even if you can get millions of dollars, why would you represent a Russian company who's get sanctioned? Like, will you represent Nazi back in World War II? I don't think that will be a traitor, right? So
right,
exactly
treason, and they covered up from bottom to top, and everyone is covered up there. Yes.
Yeah, and he also has this connection with, like you just mentioned, Wang Qishan's family, and he jobbed Mr. Miles Guo and became the representative of Wang Qishan's company, right, controlled company, and he's getting millions of dollars from this Russian energy company and also CCP families, so that he's not doing anything on these hard drives, because we all know that FBI got the hard drives since late last year. They didn't do anything. They claim that they were investigating money laundering, but that's just a bullshit to me, because money laundering takes years.
Themselves are doing money laundering. How they can invest themselves? That's the thing.
Money laundering takes years, and maybe that when you have any real progress, Joe Biden is already the president. And remember, when Joe Biden gets president, Kamala Harris will be the presidential. And Joe Biden, look at him, he's not going to, even if he got elected, he's not going to be a president for long, because his health, both physically and mentally, are not going to, perform
He's
on
not
the
capable at all.
as a
Yeah.
president, right? So the Democrat Party is already preparing to have Kamala Harris to be the presidential of Joe Biden if Joe Biden wins. One of
Yeah,
the
let's
one of the rally. Sorry, it's too far. But
No
one
problem.
of the rally that the host was introducing Kamala Harris, right? And the way she introduced is, "Let's welcome the next U.S. president, Kamala Harris." They can't even
because
hide
Joe
what
Biden
they're
is already
thinking.
the president elected. Yeah.
No, they're claiming Kamala Harris is the next U.S. president.
Next president, yes. So they already pronounced Joe Biden died.
Yeah, and this guy, Christopher Wray, in 2017, this report already discovers his connection with this Russian company, and claiming that it will be national security if Trump appointed this guy as head of FBI. But according to Lu De, the reason this Christopher Wray was appointed is because somebody around Trump nominated him or recommended him to Trump. And that guy has a very close relationship with Trump. Probably it's either Mnuchin or inside Trump's family, because we knew that Mnuchin is one of the corrupted U.S. politician that is not politician, but powerful.
Don't forget, when Trump started to be the president, get into the White House in 2016, he knew nothing about what's there.
He's outside.
He thought, okay, it's just like his own board of directors, and the people are all his people, or all naive and innocent U.S. citizens who are working diligent for U.S. citizens and U.S. public. But when he was there, he had nobody to trust, but he had nobody to untrust, right? So that's why anybody could recommend him something. He said, okay, why not? Because I don't know anybody. That's how it happened.
Yeah, Trump's policy to China, he was focusing on trade, right? And he was relying on the national security apparatus to provide all this intelligence to him, so that he knew that then he can know all the evil conducts by CCP. But the thing is, all these national security apparatus, they're not telling Trump the truth. CIA had this Hammer project. They're not telling Trump that they had this dirty stuff on Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. Remember, if Trump knows these hard drives, like, there won't be any impeachment, right? So CIA, since like years ago, they already know that impeachment is not related. The Russian collusion is not related to Trump. The Russian collusion is related to Joe Biden, and they choose to be silent.
That's the funniest thing so far. All those mainstream media are still talking about disinformation about Russian. And anything happen here for Joe Biden, they are trying to say, oh, maybe some Russian guys are doing this, which is connected with this so-called disinformation during this first few days of Trump's election. The impeachment was wrong, was totally brutal to Trump because he's just started his presidency. But this thing we already know is just coined up. It's totally made up by these elites that for the Democratic Party.
Yeah. So I guess it's either Mnuchin or his son-in-law, probably his son-in-law, that who recommend Trump to use Christopher Wray, and probably they are the same persons who recommend Trump that this virus is nothing, it will go away in April. And
Fauci said that too at the beginning. Fauci actually didn't emphasize about the severeness of this virus, but now he's doing the other one, like a bullshit that he's eating his own shit.
NIH, NIH, the CDC is another battlefront that CCP infiltrated, right? So we know that right now, we knew that CCP infiltrated Hollywood, NBA, and also the FBI, CIA, and US politicians. But they also infiltrated academic field. and also the universities and think tanks. And those are the scientific side. So NIH and CDC, Fauci will one day be sentenced, will one day be indicted. He is in bed with CCP too. Fauci is going to be
Confucius Institute, and they've been doing this. Yeah,
Fauci is the guy, because you remember the system in US. Fauci is independent. He doesn't listen to the president, right? And the president has no power to control Fauci or NIH or CDC. But the thing is, Fauci is doing business with a lot of Chinese research centers, and he is getting benefits, from all these CCP corrupted scientifics. And he was the head of NIH for years. He has a reputation that is well protected because CCP has the power to influence the mainstream media. That's how he protects his reputation. But right now, he's going to be broken, be destroyed very soon. Trump already mentioned that he's going to fire Fauci right after he got elected. And he also mentioned that he's going to fire the head of FBI, the head of CIA, and also the head of maybe DOJ. I don't know if William Barr is going to be fired too. But Trump already mentioned that he might do that right after the result of election night. Of course, that if he gets reelected, he will do that. And hopefully that will become true. Today's War Room, Mr. Bannon is already interviewing the lady, I think her name is Sydney, and Ms. Bannon is saying that Sydney is going to become the next head, the next head of CIA, replacing the head of CIA, Gina, after the election. And he invited her on War Room to talk about the national security stuff.
You're talking about the future now, right?
Yeah,
like Ludo said, standing in future and talk about today. But here, how is this FBI director related or connected with Hunter Biden's laptop? And then another thing I want you to mention, we heard, and just correct me if I'm wrong, he's already removed from FBI. Is that right?
Who is removed from FBI?
Wray. I mean Christopher Wray.
No, he's still the head of FBI right now.
Yeah, but I heard the other day, Mayor Rudy
Trump,
Giuliani.
Trump said that he should be removed immediately, but he didn't yet. Trump said that he will remove the head of FBI right after the election.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm hoping for.
There's the managing director of, our acting director. Is that happened yet? Not happened? Or
it didn't happen.
Giuliani.
It didn't happen yet. Rudy Giuliani is just saying this Christopher Wray should be fired. And that's what Bannon said too. Bannon said that this guy should be immediately fired. Trump should not wait 3 more days, after election. He should fire this guy right now. That's yesterday.
Okay. So, how is this guy related to Biden's laptop?
I think that we exposed this list, right? The list Hunter Biden, Joe Biden get from the White House, all these private cell phone from these high-profile politicians. And Christopher Wray is definitely on their list. That's why they know that they asked the Mnuchin or the one around Trump to recommend him to be the next FBI director because he's in bed with CCP. And Biden's family is also in bed with CCP, and they will be good at working together. We showed this email from FBI new director in New York, inviting Hunter Biden and his daughter Natalie Biden to join the celebration dinner. We can see that they had a great, at least Hunter Biden had a good relationship with the new FBI director from New York. But we can imagine that they definitely have also close relationship with the managing director of FBI, Christopher Wray, because they are on the same boat in bed with CCP. And don't forget that when CCP want to control you, they will lure you with the money, with the benefits, with sex, and then they will get all these recorded. And that's how they blackmail you so that they control you forever. And Christopher Wray, like we just mentioned, he has this financial interest involvement with CCP-controlled Russian company. So beyond that, my suspicion is, I don't have hard proof yet, but my suspect is he has other dirty deals, or those filthy criminal activities which is recorded by Chinese Communist Party. Because if Chinese Communist Party has your personal telephone number, then they can easily hack into your devices and get whatever.
There are surveillance videos, surveillance cameras all over the place. Yes.
Yeah. What if Christopher Wray was talking deals with his represented the company Rosneft, right? And if he went to Russia, like, don't you think that Russian government or Russian company won't send her beautiful girls, hot young girls? They definitely will, right? Every valuable person who visited China, they will all get the same kind of treatment. Some of them they get better treatment, like they're sending Liu Yifei, these famous actress. Some of them they just sending normal prostitute, right? but every one of them they will get similar kind of motivation or motivation, a kind of bribe, right? The sex bribe or money bribe.
Yeah, it reminds me of Hunter Biden when he first visited China, and he meet some of the secret agency in China, like a Central Intelligence Office, like officers. Well, on the China side, they already think about different plans of how to BGY this Hunter Biden. But when he sit on the sofa, he immediately asks, "Where's my money? Where's my girls?" So it was that simple. And they were shocked. They say they thought of a lot of plans, plan A and plan B, to allure him into these BGY things, girls or money, whatever he wants. But they didn't even bother to figure out what he wants. He already blurted out. He said, "Where's my money? Where's my girl?"
Yeah, he's so greedy. If you're greedy
and stupid as well,
you will be on the list of CCP's infiltrated targets. I think one of the articles exposed that a Chinese Communist Party controlled a surveillance company had this leaked database, and this leaked database said Chinese Communist Party has already set up millions of targets across the world to infiltrate, and they scored each of the targets. Some of the targets they from 1 to 10, some of them have like 9 or even 9 above. And all these people, from high-profile politicians to those technology entrepreneur CEOs, or even to the normal people or intelligence people, they have all like targets from all industry, from all sides. And they're totally, infiltrate the whole system in US, the whole country. And that's how they operate, from the local, from, Midland, US to White House. They have their targets that are working for them. Midland, the mayor was claiming that our peaceful protesters are terrorists. And also White House, the chief of staff, Jeff Cooper, right? John Kerry, these chief of staff. Are you guys also working inside of this Biden criminal syndicate? We will expose you one day, and you guys will be on the list to be punished after Trump get reelected. All this swamp is going to be drained someday. And one thing we're certain is John Kerry had this indirect interest in its family trust, and this family trust has interest in BHR through his stepson Heinz. And Heinz was the partner of Hunter Biden. So all these family, plus the Obama family, plus Nancy Pelosi family. Nancy Pelosi's son has business with Hunter Biden too. and also Mark Zuckerberg, and also LeBron James, and also Lady Gaga. Every kind of every corner inside of the US, you can find somebody who was in bed with CCP. They might or might not know that they are working for CCP, but they're definitely getting paid, getting benefit from CCP. Oh, one thing that I forgot is Wall Street elites. They are the most corrupted people in US who are in bed with CCP. Wall Street is getting billions and billions of money. You know that, can you even imagine the biggest IPO Ant Financial, which is, one subsidiary of Alibaba, is going to be public in Hong Kong stock exchange market, and they're raising the biggest IPO so far in history for $34 billion. Wow. $34 billion USD dollars. And the enthusiasm to invest in this company is crazy. I think they get 2.8 trillion interest who wants to buy this IPO, but they're only offering 34 billion. So you can calculate how many people is willing to continue to invest in Hong Kong. And that's why Hong Kong dollar is so bullish right now. We all know that Cal Bus and US, some people from US is betting that Hong Kong dollar is going to be bearish. But instead, because all this hot money is going to Hong Kong, right now the Hong Kong dollar is so strong, and the whole foreign exchange, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority has to interfere this pegged Hong Kong dollar 50 times just because this enthusiasm invest in Ant Financial, because we know that Hong Kong dollar is pegged to USD dollars. So if there's too much demand buying Hong Kong dollar, the monetary authority has to have to stabilize it. But anyway, my point is, a lot of investors who are interested in this Ant Financial IPO in Hong Kong are institutional investors worldwide, and a lot of them, they are from US. So US pension funds, US Wall Street financial institutions, they are the biggest investors in the Ant Financial in Hong Kong, which is controlled totally by CCP.
Yeah, and so is Canada. Canadians pension fund is also investing in China, including Hong Kong. That is for sure, because I know the person who's actually calculating this, who's the senior calculator or a senior advisor for CCP. I mean, for Canadian pension plan funds are the person who is doing this. He said China market is good. It was just about a year and two ago, I talked with this person just before the pandemic. I talked with this one in person, that he already he find out there's big money, big income from China. So for sure, our money, Canadians pension plan, pension funds already invested in there. And here is another piece of news. Yeah, besides that, I just want to back up Hallie. It's Fox News yesterday. They say big tech monopolists wants to rig the election and run the country. So if Biden wins, they will be in charge. So now it's already there. So the money Biden got from Russia, from Ukraine, and they say, oh, it's not criminal at all. Even, there's another one called Apple News or something in Hong Kong. And they talk about the same idea, right? Yeah.
So first thing, the Canadian pension fund, that we showed audience this email from Wang Xing to Hunter, mentioning that who are those candidates which is not chosen in the deal of Sinopec. Sinopec has this big deal in 2017, and a lot of institutional investors, they want to purchase part of Sinopec, this Chinese state-owned company, oil company. And in that list, who are not chosen to be the investor is Canada Pension Fund. So that's my first point.
So you will be sure, like any voter for Biden, it is actually a vote for corrupted socialism or CCP, for sure.
And the second point is you're mentioning the media, right? And Amazon's CEO, Amazon's chairman, Bezos, the guy who just divorced last year. I think Bezos is the owner of the Washington Post. He's the owner personally. He owned it personally. And Washington Post had, numerous articles defaming Miss Mouse Guo and the whistleblowers movement, right? And right now, Bezos,
he's just recently divorced.
Yeah, he divorced, I think, last year or 2018.
Oh, okay.
It makes her wife the richest woman in the world.
Oh, I see. I see. He actually bought Washington Post in 2013 with $250 million. Yeah, he purchased
personally, and right now he's considering to purchase the share in CNN from AT&T. So I don't know why he's so interested in media, but we all know that right now when people are investing in these social media platforms, these modern media outlets, he is very enthusiastic investing in those old media, right?
He wants to expand his market to China. He want to work with Taobao or whatever, and he's actually supporting the U.S.-China treaty. Which would allow U.S. technology companies to invest more into China. So Bezos very deep tie with Chinese CCP.
That makes sense. That makes sense because think about this. Washington Post is getting a huge loss every year because it's old media. It can not compete with these, Zoom or Twitter or Facebook. It's old. It's already outdated. But it's getting loss every year. But this guy Bezos is still interested in holding interest in Washington Post, and CNN is outdated too. CNN's visit volume or audience dropped dramatically during the past few years, especially when
CNN
Trump
got rich after
news.
the Second World War, right? But recently it got really downsized because
And why this Bezos is so interested in purchasing these companies that is no longer making money, making profits. When everybody is investing in those technology media outlets, why he is investing. And you just mentioned he has deep tie with CCP. He's getting bigger money from CCP. And he's trying to help CCP to control this old media so that CCP has some say in US these old medias to keep propaganda, to keep its propaganda and brainwash to U.S. public.
They have a insert for every edition, every issue of Washington Post called China Watch, and then which is actually a translation or just to move the propaganda piece of China Daily. It's a traditional Chinese daily English newspaper. So they put whatever is there as a big propaganda program and just insert totally into Washington Post.
And the reason why we said that Obama's family is also totally corrupted with CCP. Obama has 2 daughters, and his family, I think one of his daughters is a journalist in New York Post or Washington Post, but she, Obama's daughter, wrote a few articles defaming Miss Mouse Guo. And why would she do that? Right? Why would she do that?
She's also a leader of Black Lives Matter, and one of his daughter is also behind or promoting this Black Lives Matter.
I can imagine that. I can imagine that because these people, Obama is nobody. Because these president is not always the most powerful guy in U.S. history, right? It's not. It's always not. I'll say
this is the deep state.
It is the big guys behind him, supporting him to be the president, who are actually controlling the country. And those people, they are in bed with CCP, right? One of them is, Soros, right? Soros is one of them. Soros had so many deals with CCP, and the other guy is Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg get rich, like, and he was running the presidential election also. All right, he spent like over 300 million to do those advertisements. And he also called that Wang Qishan as the most powerful guy in the world. He has a fabulous, fantastic relationship with either Wang Qishan and Xi Jinping. And he is the guy who planned the whole BLM movement to fund all these protesters joining the movement. He has always had this plot, and he was the point man. I will say he's the pivot of CCP to the chaos of US, just like Joe Biden was the pivot of Obama to the Asian, and he did a terrible job. Actually, Michael Bloomberg was doing a very good job working for CCP. He, founded all these Black Lives Matters protesters and created the ongoing chaos in all the U.S. states.
Yeah, and this is the way. They are. This morning we heard a news on Lotus Media. They are preparing something called I forgot the word, riots or something. A special thing about, like, it's related with how in 1966 in China, when they started the Cultural Revolution, all of a sudden they put up Chairman Mao's word as a little red covered booklet, and also the red bandit that they put on their arms with red cars. And this is commonly related with this Black Lives Matter or Antifa. All the riots is going to happen. And this thing, they already started, and they started organizing such events around White House. 25,000 people are planning to gathering there to shout at Trump because they already know Trump is winning. Dear audience, if you look at our screen right now, we have Trump is getting 289. And
this
Biden
is according to Steve.
The censorship, right? I mean, the polls, right? Yeah, but it's basically the truth because, Halle, you lost or what? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
am I back?
Yeah. Okay, you're back.
Okay.
Right. Go ahead.
Yes, it's from Stephen Bannon. There are a lot of different pollings right now, right? And a lot of them they're saying that Joe Biden was way ahead. But we believe Stephen Bannon because Stephen Bannon is the strategic advisor in 2016 who helped Trump to win, and he is good at those big data analysis. So this is according to him. He said that Trump will win. His prediction is Trump will win 289 electoral seats on the election night. And
well, you all know if you pass 270, you're gonna win because according to American Electoral College, right, or Election College. So all this showed us that Trump is winning, and also they prepare for this. Remember 2016 when Trump wins, there are riots, there's Antifa going around and they try to yell on the street and they break everything on the road, particularly I know in New York City and in DC as well. But Biden is lower now. But we know on the mainstream media, they always say Biden is higher. But in the same time, it shows how contradictory they are because in the same time, Nancy Pelosi and a lot of other Democratic leaders, they are trying to say no matter what, in January 20, next year, 2021, Joe Biden is going to be on the presidential and inaugural speech or whatever. Biden is already the president elected. And some even say the vice president, his partner, the lady called Li, right? In Chinese is what was the English?
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris is already the president. So this is a weird and disgusting thing happening. But let's let's just do it. Like, just keep on electing Trump. Do whatever you do. But we all know for sure it's already under, we already covered. I mean, find out, dig out some of the facts that they manipulated the ballots. They send out fake ballots. And then like we already mentioned, 83%, 82% of that machine was created, was manufactured under Obama's leadership or whatever. It belongs to Democratic. So they can tweak and manipulate the result of election. But right now, Trump is working so hard to, to showcase Americans how good he is. But at the same time, from the real news, I mean, not fake news, you could find out people are excited and are supporting President Trump.
He's visiting 5 to 7 states every day.
Right. If that is the fact that he doesn't win, we know for sure the other party, Democratic, are doing something evil or just manipulate things. And then America will no longer be the great country anymore. But we know for sure we have one more days to go, right? Tomorrow evening will be the final time for sure. We know the result. Trump is winning. If he's not winning, there will be something happening behind the scene. Okay.
I want to tell you guys a little bit about the election, because as a Chinese, I don't really very familiar with the election. So I did some research. So it's the whole U.S. election is based on the electoral seats, and those electoral seats are based on different states. Every state, if certain party, either Republican or Democrats, win, then they will nominate the state governor, and the state representative will vote on behalf of that party. So whoever gets more than 270 electoral seats, then they win as the U.S. president. So you can see the allocation of these electoral seats are very different state from state. Some of the states only have 3 seats, and the biggest one is California, which has 55 seats. And the way they calculate how many seats this state representative can get is mainly due to the population inside of the state. So California has huge amount of population. I think it's about 40 million. So they have this average weighted calculation method, so that they calculate California have 55 seats. And I think New York is the next biggest one, has 29 seats. Maybe around 30.
29, yes. 29.
Yeah. And Florida also has 29 seats. We know that California is always Democrat state. There is no way to change that, because the way they dominate in California is they have all these immigrants, especially illegal immigrants, to enter California and give all these newly immigrant people a lot of benefits, so that they will vote for Democrat Party. And so is New York. And Florida is so-called a swing state in the history. And like 2016, Trump win Florida. That's very crucial for him. And the other 3 states Trump won in 2016 that make him the president is Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and Michigan.
And these 3
states have total of 46 electoral votes. So if you can go back to the other previous photo, previous one. Just want to mention that the 2 most important swing states for Trump this year is Ohio and Pennsylvania. And right on this photo, what Stephen Bannon predicted that Trump will win both Ohio and Pennsylvania, which has total 38 electoral votes. So if Trump lost in these 2 states, then there's certain chance that Joe Biden might win. But again, I don't know what will happen. Probably tomorrow around 11 o'clock, we would have, because these 2 states, I think the poll closes at 7 p.m. So by 11, we should have a very good idea if Trump is going to win these 2 states. If he wins these 2 states, I think probably he's going to win the whole election.
Yeah, there is another thing called if one wins and then wins all. Meaning if one party or one electoral congressman or just any senators, congressmen, and if they win, the whole state wins. So it's majority of these, or if tomorrow night, 11:30 around, when we find out exactly how many seats are gained by Trump, we already know. So Trump could officially declare he's a winner for the next presidential 4 years, for sure. But there is things going on now. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other
CCP is behind this.
And the other point is like why we are seeing all these surge in infected cases in those swing states, right? Why would you see that? The most cases during the past few weeks are from the inside the swing states. Remember, the popular vote is different from the electoral votes, right? If you like, for example, 2016, Hillary Clinton has the majority popular votes, right? He won DC by 86%. Like when we're talking about this margin by percentage, we know that you win by how much margin. And a lot of states that Hillary won, he won by large margin. That's why he got like majority votes. But a lot of states, Trump won, he won with very, very small margins, like less than 10%, even less than 5%. But no matter how many margin you get, how many more votes you get from compared to the other party, you will get all the seats from this state. So
yeah,
a lot of states, the competition is very furious, and hopefully, all these swing states will vote for Trump this in 2020, so that he can get all the votes from election this swing state. Because right now, CCP is already helping U.S. a Democrat Party to attack Trump. Mainly there's 3 tactics.
Bioweapon.
Right, there are 3 tactics. The first one is CCP viruses bioweapon. So that's why I mentioned a lot of cases are surging in these swing states, so that people would think, Trump didn't do a good job in containing this CCP virus spread, and especially for those people over 65 years old, because that's the highest death rate group. So this is the first tactic that CCP is using to attack, and they are fully capable of doing that. They still have these international flights, right? And the whole virus is sent by Chinese counterparty to US, and CCP has ability to send such virus to certain states, so that it will impact Trump's election. And I think the second tactic is to use the Antifa movement, right? To claiming that Trump didn't do a good job to containing all these looters or rioters. But like we all know that Trump had a very aggressive tactic to contain that. And he is so-called the law and enforcement president, the president that put the U.S. in order, right? But still, that Antifa is ongoing, and this is the second tactic that CCP is using against Trump. I've got a third one, which is the third one.
The third is actually the stock market.
Yeah, the stock market, because Trump is always, boasting, or he's proud of how stock market behave during his term, and like he always praising that stock market is at all-time high. But look at what the stock market was last week. Yeah, last week, because like so many back in 2016. I don't know if you remember, like one of the reason that a lot of Wall Street elites, they write articles, right? They pay these mainstream media write articles that if Trump get elected, the stock market is going to crash. the whole market is going to crash. And only if that the Democrat came into power, that the market will go up. Because one of the reasons is, Democrats, they have this trillions and trillions, spending spree policy, that if they are in charge, they will print more money, just like what Obama did.
Wall Street is basically controlled as well. Wall Street, talking.
The deficit of Obama government went up like rocket ship, right? It's from, I think it's from less than 2 trillion to 5 trillion, like during Obama's term. I mean, the deficit, the balance sheet of the Federal Reserve, and that the whole economy is just fake, is a bubble. Like they just use this newly printed money to support the economy, and the inflation goes up. All these real estate in New York, the price goes like crazy, right? And a lot of people, the employment rate is still high during Obama's term. Compared to Trump, the balance sheet is going down. The balance sheet going smaller and smaller, meaning that U.S. has less deficit. And on the other hand, Trump is focusing on the increase the employment rate and reduce the unemployment rate, and that makes everybody in U.S. get the job and get paid. And that's how a healthy economy should be. Instead, if Democrats come into power, they will just print money and spend a lot of money on those meaningless things. They will not protect your job. They will not bring back the industrial manufacturing factories. Instead, they will move all these factories outside of U.S., saying that this is not good at climate change, climate protection, and instead they will just print in more money and give you this like universal income, like $1,000 for each U.S. citizen. And it's ridiculous. This is not a way how healthy economy is going. Like a lot of people, when they are young, they don't really understand how economy runs, and they will think that Democratic parties are cool because they're claiming this equalism, they're claiming this climate protection. A lot of young generation, their focus is on climate more than anything else, like economy. But the thing is, if Democratic Party comes into power, the economy U.S. will be totally rely on China, the biggest supply chain country, and it will have adverse effect on your national security, because we all know that all these key industries, they've already shifted to China, like those medical basic ingredients industry and those rare earth industry, because China doesn't care about the environment protection, and the cost in China will be extremely low, so that no U.S. factory can compete with Chinese price. That's why all the rare earth company all shifted overseas, and all these this industry is the core, is the fundamental industry for a lot of high-end tech industry, like military defense industry. They all need this rare earth, and for medical supplies, it's more serious. It's about the health of your citizens. So if you don't have all these core manufacturing or fundamental national security industry located inside domestically, then you will always get threatened by foreign power, and especially when foreign power is an evil like CCP, then the whole U.S. will be totally controlled by the Chinese counterparty.
Yeah. Don't forget that Bloomberg is in a part of this too, about the stock market, right? Bloomberg, the former New York City mayor as well, Michael Bloomberg. Mm-hmm. He has a very large financial stake in China through his company called the Bloomberg LP. And he actually sells Bloomberg terminals to China and help finance Chinese companies by funneling billions of U.S. investors' funds to the Chinese bond market. So that's how it happened. He financed 364 bond deals worth $150 billion Okay, 159 of these companies were CCP-controlled companies. That is why he is controlling all of this. Okay, because we have, let me just briefly summarize what we talked today. And we actually, at the beginning, we show the fourth wave of like bombshell of these documents, emails, and messages, and videos and pictures from laptop, from devil, from hell. And about, we also talk about Dong Gongwen and his relationship with Hunter and how they actually money laundering and how they utilize each other to suck up money from deplorables in China and the USA. And also we talk a little bit about mainstream media and how they control the election and violate the laws, and also a little bit about virus, about stock market and Antifa and Black Lives Matters, and all these are all working together. We all know that this CCP is behind all of these to try to control the United States and control America, control the free world. We also just a little bit about FDI. Well, I thought it was former, it was still current, Christopher Wray, and how is he related with these laptops and how is utilizing his connections with higher rank officials, including Russia and CCP China, and working to undermine the democracy, real democracy in the United States. And there is also real deep swamp that is going on. We call it deep state in America. We have only 2 days left, or 1 day left, actually. A little bit over to 1 day, we'll see the final result for the election. And I think we'll continue our live program on Himalaya Canada tonight around 5 o'clock to 6 in English. And tomorrow afternoon, 12 o'clock as well. And then tomorrow evening is going to be huge, a big one. We're all of us will be there together from 8 o'clock, probably till midnight, till we find out the result of this historical election. And let's all hope Mr. Trump wins. And if you have, dear audience, if any of you have the ballots, have you're holding the U.S. citizenship and have the ability to vote for Trump, just go and vote for Trump. All right. Thank you so much, and have a nice rest of the day. And thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Thanks, Joseph.
Bye.
他们的恐惧是我们的武器，我们的胜利。谢谢了，兄弟姐妹们，你们健身了吗？行动，行动，行动！中共，你完了 ！Take down the CCP！
Just beginning, but the games you want to play. Bring it on and now we'll fight to the end, just watch and see. It's all started, everything's begun, and you are over. Cause we're taking down the CCP. Spread the word all through Hong Kong. We will fight till they're all gone. We rejoice when there's no more. Let's take down the CCP. They have all life for too long. We will end what they do wrong. Spread the word of the wrong Kong. Let's take down the CCP. Let the bullets fly a little longer, and you will surrender. Let the bullets fly a little longer. We will have freedom to live. We will win. You'll surrender. Let the bullets fly a little longer. Let the bullets fly a little longer.
中共，
Let the bullets fly a little
你
longer.
完了
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
中共，
Let the
你
bullets
完
fly a
了
little longer.
国共产党这个 CCP 才能让我们远离恐惧。Take down CCP.
They try to scare the nation with fabrication, but we see through the lies. We won't fall, we will fight you back. Police corruption with crooked assumption. They ran our lives, but no more. We will win, we will take down the CCP. Spread the word all through Hong Kong. We will fight till they're all gone. We rejoice when there's no more. Let's take down the CCP. They have all lied for too long. We will end what they do wrong. Spread the word of the Hong Kong. Let's take down the CCP. Let the bullets fly a little longer, and you will surrender. Let the bullets fly a little longer. We will have freedom to live. We will win. You'll surrender. Let the bullets fly a little longer. Let the bullets fly a little longer.
站起来吧！
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
站起来吧！
Let the bullets fly a little
为
longer.
奴役的人们
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
行动！
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
行动！
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
完了
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
Take down CCP.
Bullets fly a little longer, and you will surrender. Let the bullets fly a little longer. We will have freedom to live. We will win. You'll surrender. Let the bullets fly a little longer.
Take down
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
Take down
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
Take down
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
Take down
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
Take down
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
Take down
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
Take down
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
Take down
Let the bullets fly a little longer.
Take down the evil CCP.